Over the years of entertainment, people have always been interested in infidelity and adulteress. In the movie The Scarlet Letter, a young middle-class woman named Hester is married to an elderly scholar but dreams of a better life and a more interesting lover. After being sent to America, she takes these matters into her own hands and eventually has a baby of which does not belong to her husband. Hester and her baby are forced to wear an A at all times to identify themselves to their community. This story entangles three main topics we have discussed in class, including perception, nonverbal information processing, and communication in relationships. These next three articles help show these three topics relate to Scarlet Letter. In Hoken and Singledam's article titled The Role of Identification and Perception of Just Outcome in Evoking Emotions in Narrative Persuasion, the question addressed is whether identification with a story character can evoke emotions that subsequently influence the audience's attitude. They performed two studies, one on identification and the second on examining whether emotions are evoked by the story's outcome. The analyses attested to the greater importance of identification for evoking emotions compared to the perception of justice. The studies revealed the mediating role of emotions in narrative persuasion, as well as how identification can evoke these emotions. This relates to the Scarlet Letter because as you watch the movie, you can identify yourself as a character and sort of take on their role and understand their emotions better. Although I do not believe it affects my attitude in any way towards the story. In Palmer and Simmons' article, Communicating Intentions Through Nonverbal Behaviors, Conscious and Non-Conscious Encoding of Liking, they tested several hypotheses on behavioral displays. Previously unacquainted pairs interacted with intent to either increase or decrease their displays of liking with the partner. Perceived liking or friendliness was presented as a 7-point Likert type scale. The pair's intentions showed decreased or increased liking toward their partners positively correlated with their affiliated. However, less than 25% were found to be consciously aware of their behaviors or how they use them. The most conscious awareness of nonverbal behaviors was demonstrated by the individuals assigned the conscious intention to show decreased liking. This relates to the Scarlet Letter because while the main character Hester tries to hide her emotions, her nonverbal cues show everyone what she was really thinking. In three studies reported by Aoun, Levine, and Park in their articles Love Styles and Communication in Relationships, Partner References, Initiation, and Intensification, investigated the role of love styles in the early stages of romantic relationships. Study 1 had subjects rate and rank 14 characteristics of a romantic partner. As expected, individual scores were related to the characteristics people report as a desirable relational partner, but several of these effects were moderated by sex. Study 2 showed that scores were associated with ratings of opening lines and intensification strategies, and none of these effects were moderated by sex. Study 3 investigated the association between love styles and ratings of secret tests among individuals currently involved in a romantic relationship. The results showed that love styles were associated with ratings of secret tests. This relates to the Scarlet Letter because for Hester, sex was a large role of importance in a relationship, while for her husband it was not. This caused their communication in the relationship to prove more difficult. The studies discussed explain perception, nonverbal information processing, and communication in relationships and how they relate to the Scarlet Letter. After gaining better knowledge about these three subjects from our class, I have a better understanding of how they relate to everyday life and movies such as this. The way one perceives something can be completely different than how someone else perceives it, causing both of them to have different nonverbal information processes, thus making communication in a relationship hard. Thank you.